Hey, it's Joe, and this is my next project.
This is the video where we start building the frame. Where do you start building a frame on a car you've never built before, never seen anybody build before? I don't know how you'd do it. Here's how I'd do it. I'm going to start right here in the back. Right here. You see that long bolt sticking down right there? And we're going to start there because it's a very solid part of the car on this unibody. That's where the engine used to bolt up, the engine cradle. And I made this little fixture here. It's a 2-inch square tubing, about 8 inches long. Big washer on it. We'll get that bolted up. We can come off here and start with the frame, and we'll trim this to fit later. Getting a little chilly in here. Oh, fire's dying down.
I told you before buying the car. You can be on the V when you have one child or 20.
Need to put a little more oil in it.
You know I mean.
And a little.
I do. You know I can divorce you for this?
You just know it something like that. You had me shivering. You know.
And there it is. I think that's the frame officially started. A long quest. Here's some other things to take into consideration. We've got the radius rod. That's an approximate position. Just like mocking it up before, we just get a little more and more detailed as we go along here. Let me see if I can get a tape measure out and I'll point to a few things. We had this radius rod here, and we thought we could stick it in this stock position, but that's not going to happen. We don't want to get it too far out because when the car turns, the tire's going to hit it. Also, if this represents the body here, and we have a radius rod somewhere in here, this piece is representing a coilover, which I do not have yet. You can see where this frame, we just have these things stuck under there. This is the actual frame material, and it's just stuck up under there. It's not bent, of course, yet, but that's the plane, that's the level it'll go on, and it's probably going to bend right around in here, just like this piece of green zip material. However, oh, and this is the steering rod is going to come somewhere in here. It's going to be more on the plane of this, somewhere around this pivot point. Anyway, we don't know where it's going up here because we don't have our rack and pinion yet. Let's go check that out. Let's see what we've got here. Nice. Smells like new parts. Because it is new parts. Oh, and I got a pen. Who's the pen from? Gearhead Enterprises. That's pretty cool. Joint International Supply. This is to mount in front of the axle. It's front steer. And you need to pay attention to that if you ever order a rack and pinion. or you get one at salvage yard off the rack. If it's made to mount behind the axle, it turns the other way. This thing's gonna turn just like that. Beautiful. Look, nice and chrome, very compact. Hoping that axle's gonna sit right in here. Very tight, very close. Yeah, that's nice. It's pretty. It's a little bit too pretty. But that's what we've got. I've marked about its center here. It is going to go, if I've calculated correctly, somewhere right under here. And then it'll center up. The body will come down. The grill will come. We'll replace this tie rod here. Now, do we clear in this area? This is the actual hard part of the car. All this area right in here, there is a lot of close dancing that happens right in there. My imaginary coilover's got to fit in there. Looks like this steering, let's see, this steering, maybe we'll go there. This is actually the core support. This rod here will be right close to the radiator. So it's really going to be close. The frame, we're going to cut the frame and bend it in as we go forward. And we're actually we're going to taper the frame down a little bit where it's only 2-inch up near the front. And of course, it'll have the single airbag in the center. But right now, we're just trying to figure out if everything's going to fit where we don't weld ourselves into a cul-de-sac we can't get out of. And I'm pretty well convinced on how I can build the frame. I'm going to pull some of this mock-up stuff off where we can get our tubes. We'll slide the tubes back out. I'll start cutting on those, and we'll build them from the other end coming forward. Here we go. All right, we got another piece of wood cut right in here to represent the frame. I've got one in my hand. I'm gonna crawl under here and make a pattern right quick. And then we're gonna cut a couple of them. There we go. Little cut, little weld, just tacked together. In case I made a mistake, we may have to take these things back apart. Wouldn't be the first time, that's for sure. Anyway, let's get them in there. Well, it fit under there pretty good. Let's see if it fit our little fixture back here. Well, that bottom part there, we'll trim that off later.
I hope you enjoyed watching as much as we enjoyed making it. If you did, tell your friends and subscribe. It's important.